Yeah,
Yeah.
it is important to me because it lets people know how you feel about
Right,
it.
exactly. Yeah. Definitely really important. What about community mobility? Like how you get around in the community, like your husband being able to drive you around?
I want to be able to drive. That's very important.
So that's really important. So
yeah.
10. Okay. What about financial management? You wish you could do that again? Or?
I wouldn't mind doing it again, but it's not that
as
important to me.
Okay, so I mean like a 6.
That'd be great.
A 6
yeah.
there. Health management and maintenance. I mean, I guess that would kind of be like, you know, being able to make your own doctor's appointments, taking control of all of that. How important to that is that to you?
Well, you know, it's kind of been nice not
having to worry with it.
Yeah, because I always did it for my husband. I always set up his appointments and call. Well, I didn't have many doctor's appointments. I wasn't ever sick.
Yeah. So.
And he was sick all the time.
Right. Like I said, role reversal now.
Yeah.
So that's not as important, I guess, as
no.
So what would you rate that one?
Oh, let's say a 7.
A 7. Okay. All right. What about home establishment and management? Taking care of the home, whether it be indoor, outdoor, cleaning. I mean.
Oh, I'd love to be able to get out of the tractor again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty important. Yeah, that's 8. Yeah, that's very important for me to be able to get out there in the yard again and do that.
Right. And meal preparation and cleanup. I know you said that you. Did you say you wished you could cook again?
Yeah, my grandson wants.
Oh, you're okay. So they want you more so than you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think importance-wise?
Well, I think a lot of these things still come down to family.
Yeah.
Family is very important.
Right, and if it's important to them, then it makes it more important to you. Yeah. Okay. So what do you? I mean, like a 7, 8.
That'd be good.
7, 8. Religious observance.
That's the most important.
That's the most important. Okay, I'm gonna start on that. Okay, safety and emergency maintenance. I mean, just in case something were to happen. I mean, anything. If there was an emergency or anything. I know you said your husband's always nearby. So is that something that's really important to you?
No, it's not really.
It's not. Okay.
In fact, I've said to him, "Why don't you run on up Kroger and just let me here?
Let me have a little space, huh?" Okay, so what would you rate that one?
Oh, maybe a 2 or 3.
Okay. And shopping. Probably not very important. I know you said, you know.
It's not. Well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because Christmas really was not Christmas last year.
Yeah, not
because everybody got gift cards and money.
Instead of you actually.
Instead of me actually. Well, I always did the gift cards and the money too, but I always like to buy little surprises.
Yeah.
They didn't know
little
the stockings and stuff.
Yeah, like
and I didn't do any of that last year. And my daughter said, "Mom, all you do is tell us we would have done it." I said, "But it's not a surprise for you all if you already know what's in it."
Right. That's true.
So
what would you rate shopping then?
Well, it like depends on what time of the year.
Right, like when it is. Yeah. So maybe a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The importance of being able to get good rest, and that's kind of different than sleep. I mean, resting is just kind of more like a relaxation and that kind of thing.
Well, I used to never take naps ever, and I would be up late at night. My husband said he finally realizes why I never could sit down and rest because I'd be doing laundry at like 12 or 1 o'clock
in the morning.
And he said, and you never eat hot food. You don't.
Yeah.
Especially when you have children.
Right.
You never eat hot
yeah,
food.
because you're always worried about getting them. Yeah.
And I always serve my husband first.
Yeah.
And then the kids.
Right. And you're always last. So, so now is rest more important to you, I guess?
Yes, it is. It's mandatory, really.
So, I mean, is that something that has really high importance, or
now it does?
Yeah. So, I mean, is it important as a 10, or maybe
no,
like a 7?
No, it's not a 10, like 7 or 8. Yeah.
And then sleep. I guess that's probably maybe the same as the rest, or
yeah, it's about a 7.
About a 7.
Yeah, like last night, I didn't get any sleep hardly at all.
I don't know if we got much sleep in the teepees either. It was really cold out there last night.
Yeah, I can understand. Well, we had snorers.
I don't think we had any of those.
Didn't bring. They forgot. One says she doesn't have it, but she does, and the other lady forgot her machine.
We heard somebody taking a nap in there earlier, and they were snoring pretty
good. That was the one that
was during Nancy's interview.
Who kept us up all night.
You could probably hear it on her interview, actually. Sleep preparation and sleep participation. Sleep participation is pretty much, I mean, just getting a good night's sleep. So that's probably the same, but being able to prepare for sleep, like getting ready for bed.
Yeah, that's like an 8.
An 8.
That's important that I can get myself ready and not have to wait for somebody else.
Okay. Formal educational participation. So I mean, I guess that would kind of go back to you being able to go back to the school and participate in like the tutoring, that kind of stuff. I mean, what's the importance of that?
Well, it kind of stands for independence, and you feel needed.
Yeah.
So probably about a 7 or 8.
Okay. Done. And then informal personal education participation. I mean, that would just be anything that's not educational, but study maybe the same as the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's important. Like they told me, I did not have to do the membership if I didn't want to, because I had done it for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And she said, "You wanted to get rid of it?" This was when after I had my strike, and I said, "Really, no. I wanted to keep it because it kept me a member, and also that was one of the easiest things to do because all I had to do is make sure everybody paid their dues.
Right. Right.
And if they didn't pay, I just got on the phone and called them and
Right.
said,
So
"You
it
owe me
wasn't that
$20."
big. Yeah.
No. So.
Right. Okay. Employment, interest, and seeking acquisition, which I know you're not really seeking any kind of job, so I guess that's probably not very important.
No, it's not real important.
Yeah, maybe like a 1 or 2. Yeah. Job performance. I guess you could kind of. I guess you could kind of use that as, I know you don't really, you're retired, but I guess when you go to do like your tutoring and your teaching and stuff like that you do now, what do you think about the importance of your job performance doing that?
I think it's really important. And I think, that goes back to communication too.
Right.
I love being with the kids, and I love, it does more for me than it does for them.
Right, yeah. So maybe a 7 or 8. Retirement preparation and adjustment, which I know it's been a while for you, but
I didn't have any adjustment.
No adjustment.
Because my grandchildren were living with us, and so we got, when my husband retired first and then I retired, then as soon as I retired we started working in the school cafeteria.
So you didn't really have that.
We tutored, we worked in the library at school, we did the Christmas Santa with the kids when it helped to wrap presents and stuff, and we did card pool and everything for the kids.
So you retired, but then you still did a bunch of stuff.
We didn't retire.
Okay, yeah. So maybe like a 5 or a 6. Okay, and your volunteer exploration / participation, how important is that to you?
That's very important to me.
Is it important as a 10 or maybe?
No, like an 8.
An 8, okay. What about your play and exploration / performance? Like you said you like to read, do puzzles, that kind of thing. How important is that to you, being able to do those things?
Well, probably an 8.
An 8, okay. And what about leisure? Kind of similar to, yeah. I'm gonna say 8 for that one too. What about your social participation out in the community, like out in your church community or wherever? How important is that?
It's important for me to be part of it.
Okay. Maybe
because, my friend has just won't go anywhere. And she doesn't want to, when she's in rehab, like if she's hit at the hospital, if they can take her for rehab, she'll walk, and as soon as she goes home, she just sits in that wheelchair and will not try to walk. She's fallen once.
Yeah.
I've fallen a bunch of times.
Right, but you are pretty active and you keep, trying to do
Well,
stuff.
I could fall a gazillion times and I'd still get up and
Right,
try
yeah.
again.
That's the only thing you can do. Yeah.
It's important to me to do it.
Right. Yeah, to be able to do that, so then you can do everything you want to do. And family participation.
That's real important. Yeah, that's a 10.
And then your peer / friend participation.
Oh, about 8.
An 8, okay.
Because my family has decided this year, my sister did, that they're not coming to our house for Christmas Eve because she said it's too much for me, and also then she has Christmas Day at her house, and she says she doesn't get done with her stuff and she has to stop and start all over again at our house. So
right.
They don't want to do that anymore. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Well, my sister's 12 years younger than I am, and when she was 14, my mother died, and I became her mother. I was there with the mother of the bride when she got married, and I was there at the hospital when both the boys were born, and I feel like their grandmother, because they used to come and stay with me all the time.
Right. Yeah. I'm just used to taking care of her.
Yeah. Well, and my one nephew, when I got, he called me as soon as I had my stroke. He called and wanted to talk to me. He called me in the hospital, and he told me, he said, Aunt Judy, he said, I never get down and pray for anything. He said, or I never ask God for anything for me. He told him that I did not want anything to happen to you.
Oh.
So he said, I've been praying for you. So I said, well, good.
Well, that's sweet.
I got a chance to see him. He was in town a couple
Oh,
weeks ago.
oh, that's good. That's good. Where does he live at? Where's he?
Yeah, he lives in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, that's good.
And he has a new lady friend, so he brought her with him, and I got to meet her.
Oh, that's good.
And she was very, very nice, and she's very good for him.
Good, that's good.
Because he has a tendency to drink, and
yeah, maybe that'll be good.
and she's very good for him.
Yeah, well, good. I hope that works out for him.
I do too, because it takes a load off his mother's mind and mine.
Right,
Because
yeah.
I just love